Kanye West just made a very, very good point. Not the point not the thing that everyone's talking about with Kanye, that, as I said, I just see no reason really to address it because I think the whole debate has become so disingenuous and it's being pushed in very bad faith by people who have said and who have applauded statements far more egregious than what Kanye West said, but by people like Louis Farrakhan and others. But Kanye West made a different, good point. This was on the Kardashians and using the Kardashians as a symbol of how the elite ought to behave. Take a listen.
You know, there's some responsibilities that I still feel needs to be taken by the entire family, right? About the way we present ourselves. Everything that we do, we need to present ourselves with the highest level of nobility. When we're in a position of influence like we are, we have to say, do we want our children to do this? And not just our children, everyone's children, because we're being used as an influence to everyone's children to sell the product that affords us the houses that we put the 800 million security guards in front of. So knowing that to whom is given, much is required. I also require that.
To those who are given lots and lots of things, there is much that is expected in terms of your responsibility to your people. This, of course, this was the common understanding of what an elite is until very, very recently. And the left has abandoned that. The left has totally denies the moral order and says that they're just going to push their own interests and their own selfish interests above all others. The right has kind of abandoned this too, though. The right has largely, until very recently, abandoned the language of the common good, of the responsibility of the elite to their common man. The right embraced an idea that sort of greed is good and I'm in it for me and just do whatever you want just for yourself. And, you know, if you're not in the elite, well, just, you know, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get a job, stupid, you know. And yeah, of course we want people to be self-sufficient. We want them to be able to feed themselves and be strong on their own. But if you are in the elite and you don't have any acknowledgement of your responsibility to the society which has afforded you so much, then you can't have a country. And you can't have a society because it's just so preposterous to believe that you individually are 100% entirely responsible for your success in life. That is not possible. The libs want to pretend that you're 0% responsible for your success in life, which is absurd. But it's also absurd to say that you're 100% responsible for your success in life. You have been given many blessings. Your very life is a grace and a blessing, okay? And some people are born to a mother and father who love each other in marriage. That's a great privilege. Some people are born in nice neighborhoods. Some people are born with a little bit of money. Some people are born with privileges. Everybody is born with some kind of a privilege, right? And some are given a greater abundance of privileges than others. And there's nothing liberal or leftist about admitting that. That's just called reality. And it's actually a deeply conservative point of view. And that's the point of view that Kanye West is expressing in that interview. The idea of a pure meritocracy is not a conservative idea. That is a very liberal idea that pretends that we're all just individuals completely divorced from society. But that's not true. You're just seeing, it's the 3 points of view. There's the liberal view, the libertarian view, and the conservative view, which I think takes the best observations of the liberal view and the libertarian view here. But we do have a responsibility here. The idea of a pure meritocracy does not get rid of the elite. That's one of the biggest lies that we've been told in recent decades. Well, you know, it's very wrong and hierarchical and old-timey and old-fashioned to have an elite. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a pure meritocracy, and that's going to get rid of the elite. No, it's not going to get rid of the elite. It's going to replace the old waspy elite with a new elite. The difference is that the new elite feels absolutely no obligations to help their fellow man. They're not doing any of the philanthropic good, or a much smaller portion than the old elite would. But we do have to have a responsibility. It gets right back to that point on raising our children. Yeah, families have the primary responsibility and right for children. But we all have a political interest in children because it's our society. And so if our kids are all raised to be transgender Satan worshipers, who are, screaming and babbling and chopping off parts of their body. We're going to live in a crappy society, and that's your problem just as much as it's my problem. So we have a social and political right and responsibility to make sure the kids aren't completely screwed up by the weirdos in the schools who are doing that now.